Going. How's it going, guys? Welcome to After Hours, where we already drank quite a bit and we're starting a podcast now. In case you didn't know what the name of the podcast is, it's After Hours.
After when? Hours. Just kidding.
Yeah, exactly. After where?
Hours.
After how? Hours. Makes no sense. Check. 1, 2. Okay, that works. That works for me.
All right.
If it works for you.
Yeah, it works for me.
Not that you know what works.
No, I don't know. I don't know what works. Who knows what works? Yeah, that's got to go on silent. Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Good plan. Hey, what's up? We're back with another episode of After Hours. We have food. We drank a lot beforehand. I'm going to say a lot, but enough.
Yeah. Some. We drank some.
We had a beer, a flight of mead, and 2 whiskeys.
Scotch.
Is that not whiskey?
Scotland, man.
Sure. I mean, you're not wrong. Neither am I.
Yeah.
How's it going? How are you doing, Darren?
Eating.
So pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I've been drinking pickle juice all day. Fucking delicious.
Yeah, but it's also making you piss all day, too.
No, I've had a lot of liquids.
In general?
In general. It's not just the pickle juice.
Okay.
I feel like today's been a long day. I've been up since like 6 a.m.
Nah, I haven't. Been a pretty short day for me. But then again, I'm about to finally have my second cup of coffee.
About.
Yeah.
But we're kind of sobering up currently.
Yeah, a little bit. Like, yeah, just a little bit.
I don't think I was drunk before.
Yeah.
But, we were about to buy like a 6-pack of cider upon this apple mead that we have here in front of us.
Yeah.
From Drinking Horn Meadery, which we very much enjoy.
Yeah.
I'll probably tag you in the notes again, Drinking Horn.
Yeah, because they do a podcast, apparently. Mm-hmm. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they follow us on Instagram. We follow
Do
them
they?
on Instagram. Yeah.
Nice. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, they get, like, mad props to them. I still want one of their damn horns to drink out of. Like,
we were sitting there earlier tonight and like, yeah, that fucking horn would be, like, fucking great to drink out of.
Yeah, it's only like $20 to fill up. It's amazing.
And yeah.
They have great prices in there, too. Like,
oh, most definitely.
Like if they had if Superstition had like the same thing going on, bro, I'd probably be in there like every time I drink. Because Superstition meadery is like pretty good too.
Oh yeah, I don't think I've had. Well, maybe I have actually, but I don't recall it. But I'm just gonna say it anyways. I don't think I've actually had a mead that I actually hated. I've had beers I hated. I've had wines I hated. I've had whiskeys I've hated. But I don't think I've ever had a mead that I've actually just, like, I can't finish this.
Like you physically couldn't finish? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like, every other type of drink, I've felt that way.
Yeah, that's fair. I think the only thing that turns me off on mead is having cough drops beforehand. It changes the entire flavor.
Which is your own damn fault, by the way.
That was my fault. It ruined the first 3 ones that I had. I was like, damn it.
This guy was just like sucking on a fucking honey lemon lozenge.
Yeah. I mean, the thing was delicious, which is why I was sucking on it. And I was like, it's making everything taste weird.
But before we got to the meadery, we went to McMillan's, which is downtown Flagstaff. And McMillan's, with a name like that, you'd think they'd
Get some Irish food.
Sell some Irish meals, you know? Some type of lamb, some mutton, what have you.
Some good old haggis. Who knows? Jesus. Like, no.
Basically, half the menu was like
Mexican food.
Mexican food. I personally had street tacos, apparently.
Yeah. And the special of the day, pad thai. It's like, all right. You know how those old Irish people, they're pad thai.
They're pad thai. I mean, I've been to McMillan before.
Yeah.
Not for food.
Irish pub.
I've been there for the drinks and the arcade they have in there.
Dude, that arcade's pretty fun. I'm pretty sure they're still shut down for like COVID things, right?
I don't know.
I mean, 'cause,
I
like-
haven't been there since before COVID started. So
No, like so on the other side, when I went to the restroom, I was like, hey, do they still got all these arcade games in here? No. Bunch of seating. Arcade's gone.
that's sad.
It is.
But yeah, I don't hate that place as a bar / arcade. As a restaurant, I'm a little weirded out by it.
Yeah.
You know,
It's strange when most of your menus like Mexican food.
with the name of McMillan,
Yeah.
you'd expect it to be more of an Irish,
Feel. Or like,
Irish menu.
yeah.
Where's my mutton? That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, not even a respectable corned beef sandwich.
I mean, there was absolutely no sheep there.
Yeah. No, they had sheep on the walls.
They had sheep on the walls,
They had
yeah.
pictures of sheep. They had pictures
there,
of...
there was a sheep. There was a sheep that was dressed in human clothes, and Darren was like, "Is that what you consider sheeple?" I'm like, good one.
God damn it. Is that where we're going with this?
Probably. But yeah,
Nice running into Brittany, though. Mm-hmm. Or Brianna.
Brianna.
My bad. I always do that. Like, every time I see her, too. What's up, Brittany? She's like, my name's Brianna. I'm like, God damn it.
my bad. You got the BRI.
Yeah.
Close enough.
One of these days, I'm going to walk up there and be like, it's Brittany, bitch.
No, so bad. I would probably have to stop you.
It'd be hilarious, though. Well worth it. Well worth it.
But yeah, so we're munching out. We have a bottle of mead in front of us,
Yeah.
probably a glass each worth. But we already had like quite a bit to drink tonight, so it's whatever.
Yeah. Starting out.
Yeah. What else happened today? I played a game of disc golf by myself at the NAU course.
Yeah. Then it started snowing.
I speed ran it while it snowed, and then it cleared up, and then
Was anybody else on the course?
I think there was one other person on the course, but we never saw each other.
Yeah.
Oh, I only assume that because there's a vehicle like parked right where most people park when they
Okay.
do the course, you know.
Yeah.
And by the time I got back and saw you, like the vehicle was gone.
Okay.
So we were probably just like perfectly like not seeing each other at all.
Yeah. I kind of figured that the thing was dead.
Yeah, no, there was
Like-
no one there. I had my speaker playing really loud, and I was singing really loud with it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, nobody's here. This is fine. I'm not bothering anybody. Except for the apartments right there.
Like, is this not how you nature walk?
Is this not how you nature walk?
Get off me.
But yeah,
Best thing in the world.
so while I was doing that, Darren was finishing up his workout.
Yeah, at Jim's place. You know?
Yeah, it's someone's house.
Yeah.
Jim.
Exactly. Jim's place is cool. He's got all this stuff. He's got all these cool toys.
And I can work out in there.
Yeah, I like to pick heavy shit up. It's good stuff.
No, he went to an actual gym.
Nah, it's Jim's place.
Jim Crow.
I mean, not that guy. That guy was crazy.
You're right. I'm sorry I brought it up.
That guy was a madman.
So I already forget what we're talking about today because the food's covering it.
Yeah.
Oh, my shit's over
Unexpected likes.
there. Unlikely likes, unexpected likes.
One of those two.
Same thing, really.
Yeah.
So again, we're gonna start with movies. I guess we're gonna get into it.
Potato, tomato. What's the difference?
Potato, tomato. It's like both know what we're saying.
I can't wait for somebody to be like, those are two entirely different things. Potato, tomato.
One's a fruit, one's a starch. This guy over here.
Yeah. It's like neither one's a vegetable. It's gonna be great. It's a great conversation.
We'll have that another time.
Exactly.
So, let's get into it. How many movies do you have?
17.
Okay, so I should go like 15th.
Yeah. Like 42. That's a good number.
Okay.
It's a good old meaning of life.
So I really don't know how many movies he has.
Only get two.
So I'll go first. So in the Marvel universe, movie universe, Marvel movie universe, I never really liked any of the Thor movies. I didn't like the first Thor. I thought it was just okay. Second Thor, The Dark World, thought it was same thing. I thought it was just okay. It didn't live up to like my expectation of like how good Marvel movies could be.
Yeah.
And have been at that point. But when Thor Ragnarok came out, my gosh, did it like blow my expectations.
Why? Because it started becoming comedy?
Well, not just because it was comedy, but like, it was just like, it was almost an epic, you know? Like, you're out in outer space, you're in the unknown, and
you go back to your own world, and then there's also the entire thing with his sister.
Yeah, like, there's so much more to it than just like going to one place.
Yeah.
Where it felt like, the first one was like, oh, we're in this one desert town, which is fine. You know, you can work with that.
Yeah, Discovery's like...
I feel like they didn't, though. The second one was like, oh, we went to like 3 places. We're at Earth. We're at Asgard.
Yeah.
And then we're at that one world between where they go from Asgard to this one world back to Earth. And then this one just like they played around a little bit more, you know? Who's the person that directed Ragnarok? It was Taika Waititi. I really love this guy as a director/writer. I've seen quite a few of his movies. Fucking great.
Interesting.
I
I didn't realize the director was different for that movie.
Yeah, totally was. And his jokes, I get. He's a New Zealand. He's from New Zealand.
He's a New Zealander.
He's a New Zealander.
He's goddamn Kiwi.
He's from the Lord of the Rings.
He's all the way from the goddamn Shire, you guys.
But you know, he does What We Do in the Shadows, the movie. Where the Wild Things Are. Oh, not where the Wild Things Are.
I was going to say, that was a pretty good one, too.
Hunt for the Wilder People. What other movies has he done? He's done quite a few that are just pretty fucking great.
Yeah, that you've seen.
That I've seen, yeah. And I really enjoy his movies. And Thor Ragnarok blew my expectations out of the water.
What's your favorite part of it?
I think the beginning. You know, when Thor is just, like, he's, like, spinning around in that cage, and he's talking to him, he's like, wait a second. let me look at you before I finish the story. But like, it's not even that part. That part's great. But like, when that dragon's fucking chasing after him, and then the dude, what's his name? I don't even remember his fucking name. But he's just like, behold, my stuff. He's like, all that shit from Earth.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Thor's like, I'm coming through the portal. And just like, he comes through the portal, and like the head of the dragon thing is like, just comes through with him, and everybody gets like splattered with goo.
Yeah.
One of my favorite parts.
Oh, that guy. Fucking it's like, get this one from Earth. It's like he just like 2 M16s.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, dude. A lot of people I know a lot of people were in the movie theaters cheering at that point. I remember that shit. It was so hilarious. I was just like, why?
Good part, man.
I mean, it was a great part, but like, you're literally just cheering for guns at that point.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it was hilarious. It was great. Like I could respect a laugh, but it was like, right, you're gonna cheer for guns? Do you have a worst part of that movie?
Maybe the ending. Not the ending, but like when they go back to Asgard and then they just like evacuate everyone. That's probably my least favorite part.
I think mine is when his sister does the invasion. That shit was so lame. Could have been doing way better.
Oh no, you're right.
Like the invasion
you're
of
right. You're right.
The invasion of Asgard.
Because they had some pretty epic people just die so easily.
Yeah, like
which makes me mad.
Yeah, like you could have focused on that a little more because that was like what, like a 10-minute battle to just take over Asgard.
5 minutes even. You know,
maybe. Fuck.
Like you got so many like important characters. It's just like, oh, they're dead.
Yeah, fuck these people.
Easy. I mean, they were trying to make a point with her,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Hera, the goddess of death, trying to make a point. But these people...
They could have put up more of a fight. You could have made that more dramatic. They could have lost with some dignity. No, they had their cheeks clapped.
Epic loss.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
It just diminished everybody else's battle history. He was like, nope, erase the score. Fuck him.
Not even close.
Not even close. Wasn't even a battle. Got walked on.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that
was my only upsetting thing about it. It was like, literally like, when she invaded, took her some time, blah, blah, blah. Literally walked over everybody.
Yeah.
So annoying.
Agreed.
Like, all the mythical people that enter Valhalla aren't able to stop this person.
Right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
What's your
The first one I got for movies is 1408, which is a movie I didn't think I was going to like because...
Samuel L. Jackson?
No. Because of John Cusack.
Stephen King?
No. Not even that. Well, actually, at the time, yeah. Because I didn't... at the time, I didn't really respect Stephen King movies at that point because I haven't really seen a really good Stephen King movie since, like, Tommyknockers or The Shining.
Thinner?
Thinner was pretty good, but I didn't watch that at that point before I seen 1408. I do agree. Thinner, great movie. But the Stephen King movies to me after that, like after a point, were like literally becoming like kind of trash because there's a few of them out there that are literally like on like PBS movies and they're just horrible.
Yeah. Like,
But so like I went into since it was like a Warner Brothers, I think it's a Warner Brothers thing. I don't know who like produced it, but the show itself, or the movie itself, the way it starts out, the way it kicks off, incredible storytelling. Just whoever directed it, that shit was great. Like the storytelling, I love storytelling. I will always say that. This is a movie that just gets you to believe the character, who the character is, and then just flips all of his shit. And it's great. And if you're like, and they did some really good research into like demons and mythology and just shove that in there. It was great. I like almost the entire thing. Except I recently watched the non-director's cut, and that ending I don't like at all.
I honestly haven't seen the movie in quite a while.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh my god! Like, for me, the since I saw the director's cut first, it was it had such impact. It had like I feel like that should have been the ending itself.
Yeah.
And now when I see the cinematic version of it, it's like why is that the ending? It doesn't seem as good. I mean, obviously the director cut should be better, which it is, in my opinion. But since I saw the director's cut first, it kind of ruined the cinematic version of it. And that's my only downplay to it, because I wish it was a lot better. Like you have hope for him in the cinematic version, but like at the end of the director's cut, it is so much more suspenseful and thoughtful and just open-ended in general.
Sure. And that's how director's cut should be, you know?
Yeah.
Anything else to add to that? Because I remember watching it, but I don't remember like the specifics of the movie. I remember it takes place in a hotel. The guy is trying to find ghosts, and he doesn't believe in ghosts because he never was able to contact his wife, no matter how hard he tried.
No.
Something like that.
Storyline. He is an author, and one of his books he does, like from the one of the first books he's able to publish, is considered his masterpiece. Like the first book he does. Yeah. So somebody offers him a bit of money to do like a fluff piece, which is like 10 haunted houses, and then he falls into this category of being like a person who goes and visits haunted houses and writes about them. And then as he writes about them, obviously he starts to understand that most of these places aren't just haunted, they just need people to visit them, or they need some publicity. So he becomes very jaded in the idea that the paranormal isn't real. It's a lot of fluff and a lot of hype. So at one point he ends up at a very like somebody's anonymously tells him to not go to a haunted hotel in New York, which inspires him to go to New York and stay at this haunted hotel room. And obviously, since hotels don't have big hotels that have 13 floors, don't actually say that they're 13.
They just skip to 14.
Yeah, they skip to 14, which is 1408. If you add up all the numbers, obviously, it's at the 13th room on the 13th floor. And that's why supposedly it has a devil's number on it, and it's just a crazy movie in general.
Yeah.
And
he just trips out in that fucking room forever.
Yeah, he just literally so the lore of the room says that nobody's able to stay in the room longer than an hour. And with that, there is a timer that starts in the room, and it literally takes it to 1 hour, and then once he does the most intense 1 hour ever, that 1 hour resets. And which is why you can't stay longer than nobody's ever stayed longer than an hour, is because that time resets, goes back to the beginning, and then just gets crazier. Which I believe in the book, he does it 3 times. But in this movie, he only does it once. He only goes around once, and then comes, and then at the start of the second one, he ends up trying to break the room.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I haven't seen that movie in like fucking forever.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it since like before middle school.
I don't know why it freaked me out more than any other movie. Like, it wasn't.
You've mentioned this movie a couple times on
Yeah.
the show.
I don't know why, but like, it hits closer than anything. Like, there's movies with jump scares, but this one is one of them. Yeah, it's one of those ones that like just kind of like rocked me to my core, and then left all those lingering feelings in me. Like, I still get like scared watching it, knowing everything that's coming.
So, my second movie is actually a scary movie as well. It's called As Above, So Below, which is about the Paris, right? The skeleton graveyard below Paris.
Yeah, the catacombs.
And it goes in like a whole thing about alchemy, the alchemist. Who's the alchemist they mentioned in Harry Potter? What's his name? The one who made the Sorcerer's Stone. They're basically looking for the Sorcerer's Stone in the movie.
Well, they thought that the Philosopher's Stone was
Philosopher's
a real
Stone. Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah, like was a real stone, and it was like supposedly a piece of the creation. Yeah.
But they ended up going to like hell or something like that.
Yeah. They end up like flipping over,
Yeah.
turning the world on its axis, I guess.
But yeah, I've heard of this movie like forever ago. Back in high school was when this movie came out.
Yeah.
For me, obviously for you, it probably came out after high school for you, because you're old.
Yeah. Old person. Old people stuff. It's kidding.
So like I didn't like I saw it, I was like, that's interesting. I didn't know what it was about. I just knew that people were like exploring the catacombs under Paris. I'm like, oh, that's an original idea, you know?
Yeah.
Whatever. It's like, but after like I didn't watch it till like last year. Probably,
Really?
yeah, summer last year.
Interesting.
And I was like, this movie holds water.
It does. It really does.
It's actually pretty good. And I was surprised at how much I actually like this movie. And I didn't think I'd like it. I actually really liked it, and actually would recommend it. And
So, I
if
do
you
have
haven't seen it, if that's what you thought in terms of like this movie, like I did, like it seems cheesy. It's taking an outdated idea of like a horror movie that everyone's probably thought of.
Yeah.
But like it does its own ideas. It seems original.
Yeah. Like, there was, like, at the time, a lot of people were doing the documentary horror film style thing.
Yeah. What do they call it? I can't think of it right now.
I don't know.
I'm too out of it.
I don't know either. Like, but to be honest, where do you think the
Found footage.
Yeah.
Found footage horror stuff.
Yeah.
This is the era of like, oh yeah, this is also found footage stuff, like
Paranormal Activity,
Paranormal Activity,
Cloverfield, and I think there that movie Quarantine.
Yeah,
There's a few of them. But where for you, because there's like 3 different scenes. Where do you think that the world flipped on them
when they went underwater
to get to the stone?
Okay, so there's that point. So there's 2 points where it has the possibility of flipping, right?
Technically, there's 3.
I mean,
But yeah. There's like
there's 2 points. I think
a lot of people think there's 3 points.
there's that point where they're like crawling through the bones to get out.
Yeah.
It's like, this is the way out. We got to get out. So they're crawling through bones, and then it starts crashing down on them.
Yeah.
And some people just barely make it out. There's that point where they jump down the tunnel, right? The well.
Yeah.
There's a point where they jump down through the well, and then the camera guy fucks up.
Yeah.
And then there's that part where she sees the Sorcerer's Stone, or she thinks she sees the Sorcerer's Stone.
Yeah.
And then they go underwater to swim to the other side. right?
It might be like that I don't remember, but they find where the stone is supposed to be, but they don't actually see it. And then there's that well at the bottom of the water, and then they have to go through the water to come back up, and then it's there again. And that's when
that's when it was like mirrored.
Yeah, and that's where the world, like supposedly that's where the world.
That's
flipped
where
for
I
them.
think the world flipped.
Yeah.
To be honest. But she noticed that there was a stone there, right?
Yeah.
And so she went all the way back to find the stone, and then come back again
Yeah,
to flip the world back. I don't know.
yeah, wild times.
You just gotta watch the movie, guys.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. I think they put a really good spin on it. I mean, I honestly didn't think. I don't want to spoil the very end to people, but yeah, it's a good movie.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah.
It's like
I didn't think it would be.
yeah. Out of all like the found footage style movies, that was my favorite, and one of my favorite movies too. Like especially in horror, because I kind of like horror movies. Like doesn't have too many jump scares. Doesn't have but it does have like creepy vibes the entire
It's all
way through.
suspense and stress.
Yeah,
You know?
it's like if you're watching it and you're like, oh my god, how do they do this? It's like, fuck you, you haven't been in stressful situations because all of this is stressing me out right now.
Yeah. But yeah. So one of the movies I didn't think I'd really like, As Above, So Below.
Yeah,
If you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. It's a good one.
yeah.
What's your second movie?
Fucking The Dark Knight.
That's the one with the Joker, right?
Yeah. It's great.
I actually watched that today.
You did?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Oh my god.
Actually, we watched it today, so
Nice.
hit me with your best shot.
Well, so I grew up with the Michael Keaton version of Batman, and I didn't really like those movies. So that's kind of what turned me off from like ever starting the Christopher Nolan like films. Like and watching Christian Bale, I was like, okay, well, like how the hell's I was like Christian Bale's kind of a skinny dude. I was like, how's he gonna be like this buff guy?
Christian Bale's a method actor, my guy.
Bro, he really is. That man delivered. But like that's the whole reason I never watched like the Batman Returns. Is that the beginning?
Batman Begins.
Batman Begins, yeah. And like when like I'd never really watched that. I've seen people watch it, like the League of Shadows and Ra's al Ghul, all that stuff. Like and the Scarecrow, like yeah. Actually, I remember
Actually, Scarecrow's actually in all three of the films.
Yeah, I remember, like, this is weird. Like, now that I think about, like, The Dark Knight, I've definitely watched Batman Begins, like, through the whole way through. Because I thought I started the entire series at The Dark Knight, which starts out amazing. Yeah. And, like, especially if you're going to start off with The Mask, like, I remember that trailer for, like, for The Dark Knight with just his mask on the and he's on the street corner. It'd be like, oh, damn. And somebody's coming up to pick up the Joker?
Nah, dude. Heath Ledger definitely outdid himself in that fucking movie.
Oh, my God.
Such a fucking good movie.
Yeah. Way better. Like, might be blasphemous to some people, but way better than Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I
would say Heath Ledger's Joker, by far, on film, best Joker.
Yeah. Yeah, I hold him at that standard. Like, literally, best portrayal of the Joker, too. Because he's a wild boy in that movie. He gets after it. Especially, like, one of the hardest things to portray was, like, his willingness to be evil. And that video he sends out to the public of him, like, teasing the fake Batman, and how he just scares everybody with like 3 words, like "Look at me," and he's like, "Oh shit, this guy's real."
It's like he doesn't want to be, but this guy's serious.
Yeah.
Why is he so serious? He's serious.
Yeah, and then it just becomes, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Oh my god!" It's like they got the fucking Joker. And yeah, like that movie. I would say the only. Let's see. Like,
I feel like the only downside of that movie right now for me, having just watched it today, is the fact that I know there's a scene cut out of that movie only because before they released the movie, Heath Ledger passed away, and his family didn't want. There's supposed to be a scene where the mob killed the Joker at the end of the movie.
okay.
That scene was totally cut out.
And I think it made the movie better. To be honest, like if I saw the mob,
my only problem with it is that you don't see what happens to the Joker after he's hanging there.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, they're swarmed by police at that point, though, so you kind of get like a sense of what happened.
Do you know?
Yeah, because like there's a helicopter like literally like hit on Heath Ledger and the Batman at that point, and they're already like SWAT teams already coming out in the building.
I don't know. What were you gonna say?
The only thing I didn't like was obviously I don't want people to get hurt, but that the Joker's plan didn't work in the end.
Oh, where they didn't kill each other in the boats?
That and like even the Joker's button didn't work. I was like, come on. It's like the Joker is always good to like always.
This is fine.
Okay. Sorry guys, we like kind of cut out something.
But you know,
happened.
we noticed it way before this time.
Yeah. So back to what I was saying. I didn't like that the Joker's button didn't work, and because the Joker makes threats and he follows through on his threats, and that's what makes him the Joker. He is a real threat because of that. Is because he like, regardless of how crazy he sounds, he's gonna follow through.
Yeah. One of my favorite things about Christopher Nolan's Batman movies is that they're somewhat based in reality. You know.
Yeah, there's an element.
Like you look at the Batman comics and there's like some sort of surrealism to them.
Yeah.
But with Christopher Nolan's Batman movies, there's like a bit of realism to it.
Yeah.
To the Bat costume, to the villains.
Yeah.
And everything, you know?
And I think it's actually like, it's probably one of the best ways to bring a comic book to life because Batman doesn't have superpowers. He has
money.
Yeah, he has money. Like
he has experience.
Yeah, and like he has like achievable things. I mean, obviously, if you're a fucking like multi-billionaire like him, like the
good guys gotta win.
I mean, they got to pull out the big win for the end.
That was your second movie?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move to TV shows. I feel like we've been talking forever already.
I mean, it's technically only been 30 minutes.
Probably about 40 now?
Yeah.
Just about 40.
Yeah.
But, you know, movies always takes forever for us.
Yeah.
I feel like. Then we start getting the ball rolling. Then TV takes an hour. Then we get
TV takes an hour. TV always takes an hour. Jesus. But good shows, man.
Yeah, shows. The shows.
Shows.
I have 3. You have 2, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So I'll start with mine. As usual.
Usual.
I'm bringing up New Girl. But, you know, like, I have a specific thing to talk about New Girl with, I guess.
Nice.
Megan Fox takes up, like, half a season in New Girl. Only because Zooey Deschanel, the actress, she got pregnant and couldn't be in the series for a moment. For when they were recording. And so then they wrote in a character called Reagan. And normally, I don't like Megan Fox in things.
Why?
I don't know. It's just a thing.
That's weird.
I just feel like they portrayed her as like always like the perfect girl. You know?
Yeah, I can see that.
And it's just like a little annoying.
Yeah.
Which is what they did in New Girl at first. But they very much humanized her. they showed she had flaws and whatnot, which I
Yeah.
enjoyed. Because like she was there for like what 8 episodes out of this season,
Yeah.
8-9 episodes, and throughout those episodes, you slowly see that Reagan or Megan Fox, this character, is very much like, oh, she has these faults. She's not perfect, which I very much enjoyed seeing.
Maybe that's like, to be honest, that might actually truly be her. Like, see her in small doses, she's like, she looks perfect, and then it's just like, oh shit, it's like you get to see what's underneath. Like you start spending more time around it, it's like, oh shit, you see layers to it.
Yeah, and so I very much like. I didn't think I was gonna enjoy Megan Fox, like not like taking Jess's place on New Girl, you know.
Yeah.
But like, you know, being a filler.
Yeah, that stand-in.
I didn't think I would enjoy it, but I very much did enjoy it. I didn't think I'd like it. I did.
The part that made me like it the most was that she didn't like reading, like the book. She didn't like.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. She's like, oh, I fell asleep on it. But to be honest, Nick, I don't like reading fiction.
Yeah.
It makes me fall asleep.
Yeah.
It's like fair.
Yeah. It's
Like, some people don't like reading fiction.
Yeah. Which is, yeah. I took Solomon that because I don't like reading fiction either. Like, I could read a newspaper. I can read a newspaper front to back because it's all information. And then, like, I can't do fiction because it's like none of this pertains to anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, I don't know. I think it very much humanized her, and that's what I liked about it
Yeah.
the most, I feel like. So that's my thing
No,
with TV.
well, the other thing I didn't like is that she was just fucking cooking on a grill at her apartment. I was like, bitch. It's like, that's a thing you do, like, with people, and then you're just doing it by yourself.
Well, she's not a people person in the show.
Yeah, but, like, at the same time, like, you fuck, like, if you're gonna cook chicken, you gonna go outside and do a grill to it? Or you're just gonna be inside?
That's fair. I wasted half this drink. I'm so mad at myself.
Yeah, I kind of fell over there.
Quite a bit.
A little bit. Do you want some of that one?
No, it's fine.
I mean, should you make my coffee though?
Yeah, it's probably burning at this point. Yeah, so that's my thing for TV. What's yours?
Fairly new show-ish, like called New Girls, which is great.
New
Love
Girl?
it. Oh no, not New Girl. Good Girls.
Good Girls?
Yeah. Which is it starts out as 3 women who are, well, one is like a very prominent like housewife. Another one is just a minimum wage worker. The other one is a kind of like her sister, and she's a little bit of a fuck up as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm not saying that to be mean, but like that's the way the show wants to portray her. And
Sure.
So these 3 ladies, they're really good friends, and they just end up all realizing they need money, and then they end up planning a heist.
Oh, I think I've heard of this.
Yeah.
It's got the one chick from Mad Men.
Really?
Yeah, she was like the head secretary person. The redhead?
Christina Hendricks?
Is that her name?
I mean, that's the only one I recognized from there.
Continue talking about it. I'm about to look this up.
So, they plan a heist. They go about it in the best sort of way too, and it's like, oh, how do we get the money? How do we launder the money? How do we do all this stuff? Like it literally like. Which one are you talking about?
Christina Hendricks.
Oh, okay.
She's right there.
Yeah, like
look at that. This is the cast of Mad Men.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Sorry. Continue.
But yeah, she like they end up doing all of this. They end up robbing the thing, and then they get deeper into crime, and it like the show literally shows you how like one simple crime can lead you into this really ridiculous spiral of like being drawn into a world you never thought of, and just end up in a crazy ass spiral into like criminality. And like now they're on a season where they are literally printing money, trying to sell or trying to give it to a person they tried to kill, who thought they killed, but is now not dead, and somehow the FBI doesn't know about any of it, but they knew about it last season.
Huh.
It's such a good show. It's ridiculous. Ridiculously great.
You were talking about it, just like reminds me of that one meme where it's just that guy looking back and it's like the secret ingredient is crime. You know, like you don't ever actually hear this guy talking at all, but you could see his face and like this is how he sounds.
Yeah. It's like it's all crime. That's all it is. It's just crime. Oh my god. They go about it in the best ways too. It's so original and new. Well, not I guess it's not original, but like the way they portray it in like a modern day era is crazy. It's great, and it's just so much. The way they keep bringing it back to what do you call it? I don't know. To keep in touch with like regular people is that like you have to understand these ladies have just gotten into this, and it's ridiculously hard for them to understand a world of like criminality. Yeah. And like they like before, like you like the I think the entire show spans about a year and a half, and like so far yeah, like so far like the show spans about a year and a half, and it's like, oh shit, you can learn this much in a year and a half, and then you're still going down this criminality rabbit hole, and it gets so much wilder. It's really good. It's really good. Just because there's so many things that happen that just like they're captivating. It's amazing because like you like I even forgot about like I just thinking about it now. I forgot that the manager was trying to blackmail them, tried to rape one of them, then they got rid of his body. Well, tried to kill him, pretended they killed him, but were really just trying to pay him off to go away, and then actually had to kill him, and then they had to get rid of his body, and now it's like, oh god, it's like all of that happened within like 3 seasons, and that wasn't even the whole part of the show, like the whole like storytelling part of how they just became criminals in this money laundering business that they are now a part of, that the FBI knows about, and one of their spouses is a cop. It's just like, come on.
Yeah, it sounds intense.
It is great. It is very dramatic, while being very melodramatic.
Yeah. So all my TV series things of the unlikely likes are more about characters rather than the series themselves.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, my second thing is from Supernatural. I didn't think I'd like Jack.
Yeah?
You know, Lucifer's son. When he came about, like, at first I was like, I don't like his face. I don't like the way he acts and all this stuff. But as time grew on, like, I really liked Jack. he grew on me, you know?
Have you seen it all the way through?
I've seen halfway through the last season. I haven't seen all the way to the end of the last season.
Okay, cool.
But thus far, I really like Jack.
Yeah.
Up to that point.
Yeah, he really develops.
He had very good character development, and I think he's done his share. Almost like a Crowley. Like, you start off with Crowley and you're like, this motherfucker. Then as it goes on throughout the series, you're just like, this motherfucker. You know? Yeah. It's a different aspect of the motherfucker. It's like, yes, Crowley, thank you.
Oh god.
You know?
Yeah. You do get those feels from that, yeah. It's like simple crossroad demon into like king of hell.
Yeah, exactly.
Simple son of Satan becomes a Nephilim that's more powerful than God. Oh god. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
So
stuff.
like, I didn't think I'd like Jack very much like Jack. That's all I have to say about that.
I thought it was like, I I don't know if you like. Okay, you said I haven't seen it. Like, but the way a lot of people said they didn't like the way the story ended. I disagree. I love the way the story ended.
Yeah.
And that's all. I'm just to not ruin things. I'm going to cut it off right there.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's your second one?
Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen a little bit, bits and pieces here. My roommate, Derek. You guys know Derek from Bros and Brews. Let's shout out Bros and Brews. Yeah, Derek from Bros and Brews. My roommate.
I mean, that had to come up sometime. It's every episode, man. Every episode.
Yeah, he was in Silicon Valley for a hot second.
Yeah.
And he probably stopped watching it because he finished the series or something like that.
I mean, it was over a while ago.
But you know, like every now and then I'm walking into the living room, like, oh, what are you watching? It's all Silicon Valley. Like, cool. I chill in for like 2 episodes, and then I'd leave. And like, that was pretty interesting. Like, some shit's happening.
Yeah, bro. That dude, that entire show is like just shit happening. It's like,
One of the episodes I saw was the one Asian dude who wouldn't move out.
And then he became a squatter.
Yeah. So technically, he doesn't have to move out. Blah blah blah. Like, why did I tell you that?
It's like, and now he doesn't even have to pay. It's like, wait, so I could stay here for a year and not pay? I'm like,
no.
like, no, you can't do that.
Like, it comes up with like the fridge app or whatever, right? The food app. Or he tries to come up with like a food app or something like that.
No, so he does a recipe for 8 different ways you can make squid, and that's his food. But it becomes a part of the fridge app because they were buying up a bunch of recipes offline, like from like traditional things, to be like, hey, well, if you're gonna make this, you need these ingredients, and that's exactly what his app did. Was like, hey, if you want to make squid this way, you need these ingredients. So that's why his app became a part of the fridge thing, and then his fridge thing became a part of their thing, the Pied Piper app. And the Pied Piper app used all of those fridges to be collectively a data storage unit. From what I understand, that's
I've only seen like 5 episodes in total, so.
It's great because if you understand computers and you understand like coding and how technology work, like even if you half understand how technology works, the idea of it is great because you take a few smart people. You take a few smart people, you put them in like what this dude had, which was like a hive mind style thing, and where everybody just has like collective data and they're all trying to get some kind of idea of how to market their talent or their ability.
Yeah.
So in Silicon Valley, that's such a competitive field because everybody's doing that. And this guy doesn't like. The only thing I don't like is that at the very beginning, the app he's trying to sell is it's a compression thing. So compression is hard for computers to compress and then unzip it. You lose data. You lose a lot of shit. So his app almost didn't like. Not only did it work faster, it lost a lot less data. And it was for a music app. Only he simply made it to run so that music didn't have drop-offs. But he didn't realize what he created, and people started a bidding war over this stupid music app that contained the best configuration for compressing and unzipping data. And it just became this ridiculous thing to the point where hey, if you do this on a very large scale, you can literally solve the world's problem of not having enough speed not being fast enough, or speed being too, bandwidth not being large enough to withhold data.
Yeah, sure.
And it just even now, if that was I don't know if that show is based on a real thing, but like technically they did exactly what they needed to do, and they did it very well. This is the only stupid thing that I really like. That was the first thing I hated about it. The second thing I really hated about it is that there was the app itself made a humming noise over electronic devices that literally summoned mice. You can get rid of that. You can get that out of things. Like, you can code that away. You could, like, if that is literally the only thing stopping your app, you can code that out. Like, you can design things to be noise deficient, and it'd be like, oh yeah, oh, so it's making this pitch that attracts things? Oh yeah, you can cancel out that thing. It's like,
just stop the noise.
yeah, and it's like, literally, there's ways to block noise. It's like, the thing works, and it does exactly what it's supposed to do, and it's world changing.
Yeah.
But like, oh, you're gonna stop it because it makes a noise?
Really giggles.
Yeah. That's the only thing that was upsetting. It was like, it makes a noise. Great. Now the show's over. Now we don't have a series. Now this thing's in-app. Like, it's like, it's unworkable. It makes a noise. It's like, really? This is like, throughout, you just proved that you could, like, network within the whole world and then overcome every obstacle. But your biggest one is that it makes a noise.
It makes a noise.
It makes a noise.
Huh.
I'm sorry, it makes a noise. Let's shut it down. This thing makes a noise.
It's over, guys. It makes a noise.
It's over. It's over, you guys. We just accomplished everything. It makes a noise. Shut it off.
My last show, Parks and Rec. Hated the first season, right? But again, this isn't about a show specifically. This is about a character. Ben White. He came in to like trying to fix the town, right?
Yeah. Oh god.
He was such a stickler when he first showed up.
Yeah.
But as the show went on, he became part of the audience, which was like the best part of the show.
Yeah. You needed that too.
Yeah.
Especially for those last episodes.
like there's that whole point where it's like, oh yeah, fucking little Sebastian, and he's like, what was so special about little Sebastian?
You shut your damn mouth.
Shut your damn mouth. And like literally everyone like outside the show was like, but really, what was special about little Sebastian? You know?
Like, literally, it's like, what has he done? It's little Sebastian. I want to give you a little Sebastian.
Yeah.
It's like, I met little Sebastian. Dude,
But like,
those
you know,
shirts.
that's just like an example of like the show. It was just like, yeah, this is a very irrational show.
Yeah.
And he was like the only rational person in that fucking show. Like, he's trying to help out Tommy's like business ventures. Like, he was like, where are you getting all the money to like buy all this stuff? Like, why do you have like, why are you just giving out iPads? Like, you just have NBA players playing right there.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, secretary, what do you do? He's like, I don't know. I just sit here and I get paid like $50,000 a year, and with medical and everything.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? And he's just like, what? he's like the only rational person in that fucking show.
Yeah.
And like at first he's such a stickler, and then all of a sudden you're like, he's me. I am Ben White watching the show.
Yeah. It's like, god damn it, it's like, why do you have to make so much sense?
One of my favorite scenes is like, because he was out of work for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, come check this out, I made this. And he's like, I was working on this for 2 weeks straight. And it's just like a 5-second clip of claymation. And he's like, that's it? That's all I made?
He's like, I've been working on that for months.
It's like relatable.
Oh god. Oh, the fucking what the hell was it? Something of Dunshire.
The Cones of Dunshire.
Yeah, Cones of Dunshire. Oh my god. Oh, that game. Are you guys playing Cones of Dunshire?
I was like, oh yeah. You know what? I invented it.
Oh god.
We met, what did they say? We met the creator, or what the fuck? The architect.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's the architect.
I love how they like completely like don't think it's him until like he beats everybody.
He's like, you forgot the essence of the game. It's about the cones.
Oh my god. That man. Like, yeah, it's just a game I developed. No, I think it was like, I like how like when he was talking to like fucking Andy, he was like, no, this will really take off. It's like, no, just give up on that, man. That's not going anywhere. And then just like literally like he posts it online. He puts
no, he leaves it with the accountants.
Yeah.
The last time he applied for the job, and he's like, I'm gonna do it. And then they're like, yay, we finally got Ben Wyatt.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm sorry, guys, I won't be able to do the job.
Yeah.
And they're always so fucking disappointed. You know? It's like, oh, get in here. You gotta hear the joke Ben just made. Because I'll calculator.
God damn. The man had everything. Oh! And like when Leslie makes like a Star Wars reference at the Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah,
It's like,
no.
It's like, no.
It's like, if you don't know, just don't do it.
Oh god. Just two different styles of nerd. That's great. That's like your friend when you make like a fucking Lord of the Rings reference at a Harry Potter movie. It's like, nope. Nope, not
We're done
doing
here.
it. It's over. It's all over. You ruined all of it. I'm sorry, but we're done now.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Done with TV probably, right?
Yeah.
Let's move to anime.
Anime.
Unlikely likes an anime.
How many you got?
So I got 2 animes,
Nice.
but the first anime has 2 characters
Gross.
that I didn't think I'd like, but very much grew to like.
Fair.
But also, I'm probably gonna pause the episode because it's break time. It's break time! And so we're back. We're gonna be talking about anime.
Anime. Wait, you already went over one, didn't you?
No, I briefly talked about what I had on my list.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
I have 2 animes. One anime has 2 characters that I didn't think I'd like. Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll go first. My Hero Academia.
You didn't think you were going to like that?
Great show. I didn't know how I felt about it. I didn't know how I was going to feel about it. So I can't say that it was an unlikely like, because, you know, like, it was just there, and I was like, yeah.
You had a lot of reserves about it.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I do like it. I think it's a great anime,
Yeah.
to be honest. I didn't think I wasn't going to like it, but there were characters on it that I didn't think I would like,
Oh, okay.
is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
One of them was Bakugo, right? This motherfucker was angry all the time. At the beginning, everyone thought he was going to be a villain at the end, but he's not. He has great character development for a person who's very Vegeta-ish.
Yeah.
You know, and Vegeta had great character development as well. But
Some of the best. Yeah.
you know, I guess we should have expected it because, like,
We've seen the archetype, I guess.
yeah. Many people thought he was gonna, like, there was many fan theories. It was like, oh yeah, he's just gonna become a villain, and then he just like proved him wrong.
Yeah, because that's usually like the weird like opposition is like, oh, it's the person you grew up with. That's obviously going to be his villain.
Yeah, and he had like a lot of frustration out of like the first 2 seasons, you know?
Yeah, especially with like him always looking down at like Deku and like giving him obviously the name Deku,
Mm-hmm.
and just completely casting him aside and then being overshadowed by him.
Yeah, exactly. And then it was just like, hey, this guy is probably going to be a villain. No, he's definitely an antagonist at first, right?
Yeah.
but he's not a villain.
Yeah.
And he hasn't been a villain since. And since then, he's actually become more of a protagonist, if you will. And I didn't think I'd like him, but the more the show goes on, I'm like, I get this guy. He's someone I can slightly relate with. Like, I was good at a lot of things at first, and then all of a sudden, things got hard.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd have to work really hard to get where I wanted to be because it was easy, and then it wasn't, and now I have to work at it. Which is where he was in the entire show. He's like, I'm good at things. I know I'm talented. But now everyone else around me is talented, but they had to work to get here, and they have that work ethic. And now I have to work to get there too.
Gross.
A
little bit.
And
I like those. I like those type of characters because it's always easy to like. You always think it's gonna go one way, it doesn't go that way, and then once you have like a change of opinion, like you obviously you think it's gonna go another way, and it doesn't go that way either,
mm-hmm.
and then you really have to actually like look at the character and see development.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's one of the things I was like really surprised with Bakugo about. It was like his character development wasn't the way I thought it was gonna go.
Yeah. Because, to be honest, like, I thought about it in the same way, and I was like, yeah. And then you have to, like, dig deeper into how not just the director wants him to be portrayed, but, like, also, like, as a character, how he himself as a character wants to be portrayed. Like, they take those things into consideration. And it makes his development so much more unique as well.
Yes, very much so. While we're on the subject, I'll probably just get to my second character on the show.
Yeah.
Kirishima. The guy who can, like, make his skin harden.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He was very obnoxious at first.
Which one? The guy that changes, like, makes his skin metal, or the guy who makes his skin rock?
Oh, I guess, in your perspective, the guy who makes his skin rock.
Oh, okay.
just harden. He has the harden attribute.
Oh, yeah, because the other guy actually changes into, like...
a metal,
yeah.
And that guy has to eat a lot of iron in order to do that.
Yeah.
But I don't remember if Kirishima has to do that. But like his hero name that he chose for himself was Red Riot because he idolized the guy who had a name very similar to that. It was like Red something. And
yeah.
I didn't start liking him until like this last season that came out. Where it like gave him a big arc into like who he was and why he was who he was and stuff. And then just like that episode with Big Gum.
Yeah.
And everything like
when they're being trained
when they're fighting the mob and whatnot.
Yeah.
And just like, oh gosh, that's so heartfelt and all that shit.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think I could like this character as much as I did.
Yeah.
And I did.
Yeah, he just kept fighting. He was great. Like you see so much heart from this one character. It's like great. Especially like the thing that like got me the most was that you feel like Big Gum's like kind of like he's not like being attentive, but he's being super attentive, super thoughtful about his approach and how to train them. He's making sure that they guide themselves. Like he's making sure they're like he's obviously has an eye on them, and it's not all neglect. And it's like it's purposeful because he needs them to think for themselves, to act for themselves, and to make moral judgments. Like you can't teach those; those are instilled within people. You can guide it, but you can't force it. Yeah, you can't force somebody to do those things. You can help nurture them to those things, but you can't force somebody to say, "Hey, you have to be a moral person." Like, no, you have to show them why morality matters more than something like, I don't know, whatever the hell the conflict is, really.
Yeah, and I don't know. Like I said, I didn't think I'd like Kirishima as much as I did. I do now.
Yeah.
And like he was a likable character at first. It's like he's very goofy, you know,
Yeah.
from the beginning episodes. But now he's just like one of those characters. Like, yeah, I'd die for that guy.
The one I hear like a lot of people talk about is Le Millionaire.
Oh, but you know, he was always a lovable character, though.
No, like
I feel like he was always a lovable character.
no, like the one I hear the most is like that. Like they did, like a lot of people didn't like him from the beginning because like he was always super cheerful. You could always tell that he was gonna be like some amazing sensation, and it's like, oh yeah, well he knows he's like that way, and he like even though he had like that his backstory tells a different type of story. You know that this character is powerful and he's learned things, but at the same time, we didn't get to experience the things he grew up with. We just get mentions of it.
Yeah.
So like the connection's a little
Sure.
lost there. So it's like, okay, cool. You don't get to see it until this last season where it's like, oh shit, he really is gonna fight with everything he has, regardless of power.
Yeah. Well, with regards to that, if we're talking about the top three, you know, I think I feel bad for forgetting his name, but the dude who can eat and then become like part of that animal or whatever.
Oh, okay. One of the villains, isn't he?
No. He's one of the top three students at UA. Because he eats like the eel and he can like use like tentacles and shit.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know, like that guy. Like
Yeah.
he's very much the same as Lemillion. You know.
Yeah.
But I feel like he was very much underrated. I didn't think I liked his character as much as I did Lemillion, because I always liked Lemillion.
Yeah.
I always thought like, oh yeah, I'm going naked, and then he like travels to the ground like, all your ass is naked. I'm like, this guy's dope.
Yeah.
You know, but
He definitely stunts on a bunch of people like that in the beginning. The one that I don't know why I can't get into this character, even though like he's supposedly an S-class character, is a guy with a fucking belly button laser.
Right?
Yeah.
What the fuck is his name? But he's always making weird noises when he's doing his
Oh
thing.
god! Like you don't need to make those noises. I can remember somebody like I can remember in the show like somebody saying that. I'm like, yes, there's no reason to make those noises. Fucking stop.
Him too. I didn't expect to like his character as much as I do.
To be honest, I don't like his character. He's just so obnoxious that it was worth mentioning.
I think it was more towards, quite technically, the last few episodes of this last season.
Yeah.
When he was talking to Bakugo, I was like, yeah, dude, like, we're cool, right? You know, he has his own, like, little story with him.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, alright, I can see you. I see you.
Yeah. So, I think my thing with him was, like, I think the way I can spin it into, like, an unlikable like is, like, I love to hate that guy. And I didn't think I was going to, but I love to hate that guy.
Sure. What anime do you have?
I got two. The first one I'll talk about is Demon Slayer.
Yeah, you didn't think you'd like Demon Slayer?
I didn't think I did. Like, when it started out, like, when he's training in the beginning, whining. That's one of the things I hate the most. Is
Sure.
that, like, just that, like, he's like, oh, I know you're gonna whine, and I know you're gonna do this, and somebody's gonna teach you better, and just be like that. And it's like, oh god. Now it's like, now the thing that I don't like, the other thing I don't like is when you make a character overpowered from the beginning, and then like, they don't. It's not that they're gonna progress with the show. They're just learning how overpowered they are.
Yeah.
That's the other thing that kind of drew me away from the beginning as well. But now that the show's like, obviously I've watched a lot of it, he's got such a long road to go.
Yeah,
he's like,
right?
yeah.
like you realize, like, he's not OP.
Yeah, he's not like in the beginning. Yeah, he's a bit OP to the point where like, okay, like you need to like think about how you're gonna attack. Okay, yeah, you need to watch it more to like get a grasp of things, and then you realize, oh, this base level of learning, yeah, there's a whole nother field of combat. Like, there's a whole nother
There's a
way.
whole level.
Like, there's a whole nother level of combat and a whole nother level of, like, fighting. And it's just like, okay, that's where things get interesting and they start to progress down that natural path of like, oh shit, this person can grow.
This person you thought was OP.
Yeah.
It's not really OP.
Yeah. There's like, I hate it when, that's one thing I really hate about stories. It's like, oh yeah, you're overpowered from the start. All you had to do was walk through it. It's like, okay, whatever. I like it when the story progresses and the character has to grow with the story.
To be honest, I like most shonen shows. I like, you know, like,
Is that a shonen show?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It is.
That's it. I'm like, big giveaway. God.
the way you described it, most obviously, it's a shonen show.
I'm sorry. This kid was born shonen.
I mean, he's got the protagonist hair. His family dies. What's not shown in there?
Yeah. No, I think the major thing that helped like me get through the show was literally the art style. That I liked watching that. The art style was great.
The art style was pretty great.
Yeah.
What the fuck's that guy's name with the boar head?
Shit.
Right when this show started getting boring, that guy saved it for me.
Yeah, bro. I love it when they get the new swords and the first thing he does is start fucking chipping the blade.
It's like, this is super perfect. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, they're perfect. It's like, what? Oh my god.
But yeah, no, Demon Slayer, good show.
Yeah.
Also very much recommend. And the first two shows we mentioned were actually two shows that are like probably oversold, overhyped.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I really don't like I say they're overhyped, but they're not really overhyped. They're hyped to the point to where like they are, you know?
Yeah. They
You
have.
know?
They have.
You know what I mean? Like it sounds like they're being overhyped.
They have an appropriate level of hype.
They have an appropriate level of hype, which is hard to say about many shows.
Yeah, because either it's overhyped or it's underhyped. This meets expectations.
This is exactly at the expectations people tell you.
Yeah,
It's like,
if they're hyped about it, that's the correct level.
yeah, exactly. Both shows on level with the hype.
Yeah, I met somebody who doesn't like, what do you call it, My Hero,
Really?
and I was like, how far into it are you? They're like, no. So I started talking to her, and she's like, yeah, I started watching My Hero. I don't really like it, and I was like, how far into it are you? And she was like, I watched the first season. I was like, just keep going, keep going.
It gets so much better. No. The first question you should ask is like, did you watch it in English or Japanese?
Yeah.
Because I've seen an episode in English. I hate Bakugo's voice. I hate Deku's voice.
Really?
It just doesn't. None of the English actors do it for me.
Okay.
The English voice actors do it for me in that show. Like I tried it once, never again. No.
Yeah.
Like if you're watching My Hero, it has to be in Japanese.
Fair.
No offense to the
to all the dub watchers.
Like no offense to like the voice actors who do the English version.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're doing your best.
I'm sure you tried. No, that was the thing with like Dragon Ball Z too, and like Goku's voice, like how it's really high pitched in Japanese, and like everything was released here in like an American voice, and it was like, okay, that's odd.
Exactly, and it I don't know.
Yeah, everything seems odd that way, especially if you like used to hearing it one way.
Sure, but like I just feel like in My Hero like, in particular, it gives off a total different vibe.
Does it?
From not an entirely different vibe.
Yeah.
From Japanese to English.
Okay. I gotta experience this because I gotta go through the whole show in the Japanese now.
Entirely different vibe.
So,
my second anime
okay.
is Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter's been out forever.
Yeah.
For a while.
Yeah, for a while.
For quite a while.
While.
I didn't expect to like it as much as I did.
Yeah?
When I first started watching, I'm like, yeah, this is alright. And as the story progressed, everything started going on. Like, sure, gone. Like, it's like you said with Demon Slayer, right? Like,
Yeah.
he's OP at the beginning. Like,
Yeah.
he could pass all this stuff easily. And then he meets someone who's just, like, so much more overpowered than he is. Which is the fucking clown dude. Whatever the fuck his name is. Like, he could sit, the clown dude could sit there with his aura, and Gon couldn't pass his aura at all. You know? It's like his aura alone could, like, defeat Gon.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you gotta pass me in order to, like, get to the next level, my guy.
And that was a great part. That was a really good part of the series, too.
Yeah, and that's still very much the beginning, too.
Yeah, he, like, literally, like, everything's a breeze for him until he meets him.
Yeah, even when he's getting his hunter license, like, the only person he, like, really couldn't beat in that entire thing was, actually, the assassin-looking motherfucker that looks like a Saitama. That guy was pretty good.
Yeah. Another goddamn beast.
And, what the fuck is the clown's name? I don't remember his name. It's been a while since I've seen the show.
It's been such a while. Jesus.
But I don't know. And the show just progresses well. Yeah. You know, like it doesn't jump. It very much like seems very linear in progression.
Yeah, it does. Like I've watched a good amount of it. I haven't watched all of it, but yeah, pretty linear, and also I don't know why I didn't like it. I don't like it. It has all the things that I like, but I didn't like. I didn't stick with it. It was weird.
But yeah, Hunter x Hunter was a show I didn't think I'd like, but then I started watching it. I liked it. I first started watching it with roommates I had a couple years ago, and it was just like a couple years ago, probably like 6-7 years ago.
Okay.
It was a while ago.
Yeah. So the other one I got is Naruto, which I remember when it came out, which was really annoying. Because I saw it in English first.
Yeah.
Fucking Naruto's voice in English. Especially that fucking...
It's so hard.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's hard to get past that. Mainly because, like, this is, like, literally, like, when the goddamn internet was still being developed, too, and, like, people didn't realize you could, like, get the subtitled version. Well, not a lot of people were actually, like, doing translations. So, you could either do English and understand it, or Japanese and not understand shit.
I remember where you could watch, like, 10 minutes of an episode at a time. 8 to 10 minutes of an episode at a time. You know, like, it was like, this is episode 3 of Naruto Shippuden Part 1.
Yeah.
This is episode 3 of Naruto Shippuden Part 2. And these are all in Japanese and had, like, little subtitles.
Yeah, and you had, like, no. I always went to, like, these off-brand sites that were streaming them. And you had, like, you'd literally have to be on, like, either Reddit or, like, some other sub-channel to, like, find out which site was actually working, because at the time, there was, like, these, pirated sites that were literally, like, even though, like, a lot of stuff they were doing were pirated. So, yeah. But at the same time, they were bringing in, foreign content as well, and it was like, oh shit, okay, cool, I can get on this one and be like, I can do that.
Like, and then like those sites would work for a while, and then they just wouldn't.
Yeah, and then you get like a 404 error, and the page is gone.
And it's like, all right, so where do I get to the next episode?
Yeah.
The worst part is where like you got halfway through an episode and then you couldn't finish
just
the episode.
Site crashed. Yeah. Oh god, that was the worst.
But I totally feel like the Naruto thing, because you know, like in English, everything was pretty annoying.
Yeah, it was just his voice, literally. Like, I remember when I when I started the series, I was like, yeah, this obnoxious kid. Like that came through very clearly. Like, this is an obnoxious motherfucker. And, like, they really sold, like, kudos to whoever, like, did the American version, because, you sold that obnoxious.
You did it.
you got me to stop watching it. Because I didn't jump back in until, like, season 4. And then I had to, like, literally rewatch the entire first season all the way up to season 4 in Japanese with subtitles. And I was like, now I know why people say it's better with subtitles. I was like,
oh, I get it.
Yeah.
You know, you hear that sometimes. It's just better in Japanese. Just watch the sub. It's like, is it that much better though? It can be.
It really can be. It really can be. Yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
But yeah, it was obviously it became one of my favorite animes. One we still talk about, and but like
routinely,
But for the beginning of it, yeah, I hated that shit. It was you couldn't get me to sit down to it at all. Like, I remember people who, like, religiously waited every week. Yeah, every week for it, and it was like, I can't do that. I was like, I'm out.
So let's move to games. If you're done with anime.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go with my first one. Child of Light. I don't know if you know this game at all.
No.
It's not a very long game. You could probably finish it in like 10, 12 hours. But it has a really good story. It's made by Ubisoft, the same people who make Assassin's Creed.
Is it the one where the kid's running around doing controlling zombie people or?
No. So the premise of the story is that the story's called Child of Light. There was a princess who fell asleep and wouldn't wake up, and she went to a dreamland where she had to save herself, and she gets a whole bunch of like people who help her. Like, you get an archer, a magician, random people that you can have on your side.
Yeah.
And she's trying to find her other half, who escaped from her, something like that. I don't know, I haven't played this game in fucking forever. But the gameplay is very much like a gameplay of Final Fantasy, if I remember correctly. To where, like, when you run into an enemy, you have this whole fight sequence where you have, like, turn-based battle.
Okay.
And it's actually really fun and really cool. And I don't know, I very much liked it. I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did. I got it for free on Xbox Live with their, like, Xbox Live free games of, like, the first half of the month. Yeah. And I downloaded it, I started playing it, and I was like, this is actually a pretty fun fucking game.
Nice.
I didn't finish it, but
yeah.
But I remember, like, playing it for, like, a good, like, 8 hours, and, like, I still didn't get anywhere because I was being lazy about everything and didn't want to upgrade. Enough to do anything. But yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah.
To waste.
Oh god.
But yeah, to be honest, if I could find it for less than $5, I'd probably get it again.
Wait, so you don't like?
I
can't add it to your library?
I might have it on my library. I just couldn't find it.
Oh.
Recently, because I looked for it recently.
Ah, okay.
And I couldn't find it.
So, the one I got is a game that got me into the entire series of Final Fantasy. I looked at it, thought it was pretty crappy graphics, thought it was terrible gameplay, but when I got introduced to it, I was like, the story was captivating from the beginning, and then like the cinematics were better than the actual the playthrough graphics.
Yeah.
So the cinematics drew me in, and then the story kept me there. that was great, which I really liked. Like the, I remember like what do you call it? The games used to have like a small playable demo version of it. The demo version hooked me in really quickly, and then once I got into the full game told a way better story with way better graphics.
And what is the game?
Final Fantasy VIII.
Sure.
And I love this game. It is still a game, like, every once in a while, I will give it a good playthrough because it is only like 20 hours long. And it is ridiculous how deep the game goes. Like, just how much stuff there is within the game. Like, even for its era, it was large. It was very large. And just how much, like, it's weird how far out of the way you had to go to get to mysterious areas, going off-world, going to the moon, getting on Ragnarok, being in space, coming back down to Earth, learning how to refly around the planet. All this other shit, it's like, oh yeah, and that's still not about the game. The game is about literally traversing the planet and trying to get the planet back together. It's like, and it's not even the planet that you're in right now that you're doing it in. You're trying to do it in you're trying to affect the entire future, and then you're trying to like fix everything in the future with now time, but you're still a part of the future because of a lot of things that are happening within space and because of the sorcerers. It is like, oh god, the story's so goddamn good. Yeah. And it's weird because like at one point in the game you realize if you truly think about it, there's like 4 sorceresses that are all the same person that exist all at the same time in the game all at once. So essentially you have one super being occupying 4 people's bodies within the same time period.
A group of cadets find out they all lived at the same orphanage. Amnesia to blame. Lead may be dead. Lead may be dead.
Yeah.
I'm just reading off of that.
Yeah, I remember the thing. No, like that simple analysis doesn't encapsulate the multitude of layers this game has. It's
Sure.
great. Like, I love it. It's great. No, I take that back. There's 6. 6 of the same sorcerers in the so this.
Oh, that's what you take back.
Yeah. I take back the idea that there's 4, that the sorcerers from the future is encapsulating 4 bodies. I take that back. It's 6.
Okay.
So it's like this bitch be like trying to get out there.
Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly mention that, and we're not gonna talk about this much at all, ever. But when I first played Halo, I didn't like it.
Same.
But the more I actually played it, I really much liked it.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say on the matter. Because everyone likes Halo. Who doesn't like Halo?
Bro, the first time I played Halo, I thought it was too easy, and then I had to wait till Halo 2, and then it came out with multiplayer.
So when I first played Halo, I played it on Xbox with my brother and his friends.
Yeah.
And they could all easily beat me. I'm like, this game fucking sucks. And throw the controller and
Fuck this.
Fuck this. But then I got better and it was okay.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about that.
Fair enough.
But a game I didn't think I'd like, but I really liked, we both liked, was Overcooked.
Yeah. Dude, that's a game so much fun.
It randomly came into our lives, and it was because I got it on Xbox Live again, like Xbox Live games, free games and whatnot. I was like, Overcooked. I'm like, Taylor, you talked about Overcooked one time. Taylor's my little brother, in case you guys don't know. And he's like, yeah, it's supposed to be a really good game. I'm like, cool, I'm gonna download it. You want to play with me? He's like, no, I'm good. I'm like, okay. Then Darren came over one time and was like, Darren, you want to play some Overcooked? He's like, what the fuck is that? He's like, I don't know, it's this cooking game. I'm like, we're good at cooking. Maybe we can be good at this game, though. Maybe. And then this game is just like, oh shit, like stress, like surf shit, clean the dishes. And each level just got way more intense, and it just like, I don't know, it was just a fun way to be at work.
But not at work. I remember that day. You asked me, like, you want to play a cooking game? I was like, no. You're like, come on, man, it's supposed to be pretty fun. I was like, all right, well, how do you play? You're like, I don't know. I was like, what the fuck?
It's my first time too.
I was just like, all right,
The
like,
fucking intro to that fucking
bro,
game was
like
ridiculous.
we played that first like cooking recipe like so many times because we didn't realize what buttons we needed to push or what we needed to do.
Yeah, we played that first level like over like 4 times.
More like 8, man. That thing was dumb. Like we were like, it was like, oh, like I remember the first 2 times we didn't even realize the onion was just sitting there, and they were like, well, what do we do with it? And it's like, oh, maybe we'll take it over that cutting board. It's like, okay, well, where's the knife? And it's like, do we gotta grab a knife somewhere, or we just? And they're just like, all right, just do stuff. And then it was like, they were like, oh, well, what do we gotta make? Oh yeah, it says tomato and onion and thing. It's like, oh, is that the recipe? It's like, oh shit.
The more we got it, the more fun it got.
Yeah.
The levels got more intense. Like there were parts where we were separated and we had to like work together as a team to like put shit together. Like, I'm gonna pass this to you. Okay, give me the dishes. I'm gonna do the dishes real quick.
Yeah. Oh god. I think the most horrible level on that thing was like the one where we literally had to put everything on conveyor belts to get to each other.
Yeah.
Oh, that shit was so annoying.
It took forever. I'm like, hurry up with your shit, dude.
It's like, just prep it and throw it on the conveyor belt. It's like, doesn't matter if you need it, just prep it, throw it on the conveyor belt. Because one of them will come around at some point.
Good fucking game.
It was great. He was like, just give me the dishes, fuck.
So your dishes are piling up. I need them.
It's like, give me the dishes, man. They're all there.
One of the most annoying levels, though, is when there were 3 teams, right? And there were only 3 ingredients, and we all had to like move around each other to get to like everywhere.
Oh yeah.
You know?
That was annoying.
It's like get the bacon, get the tomatoes, lettuce.
Oh yeah, like they had like one prep area, like one cutting station, and it was like, oh yeah, well we all gotta get in line to do this cutting, to do our prep work, and then we could like throw shit in there. It was like
forever.
It did. It really did take fucking forever. It's like give me your goddamn table. That was a pretty good game though.
You got any more games?
Yes. Tetris World.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit sucks.
That shit sucks.
But it's like it's one of those games that you say, I fucking hate this game, but you can't stop playing it. It's like, fucking hate this. It's like, why am I even doing this? I'm gonna get better at it. And it's great because like
is Tetris World different than Tetris?
Yes. So in Tetris World, you have to use blocks to destroy a Tetris, a world of Tetris blocks. So eventually, like this is how the game makes itself harder. Is that eventually the world gets small enough to where you can't use some of your bricks, and then you have to start building. Like if you can't destroy a brick, you're essentially building the world again. And eventually it gets to that point where like you stop destroying the world and you start building it again. And it's like, how am I getting all these shitty pieces? It's like, just give me the right ones. But your goal is to get to the center of the world. And there are ways to like literally like eat at the world and then end up in the center really quickly. There's also times where you literally have to destroy the world layer by layer and then get to the core at the slowest pace possible.
Dang.
And and it just becomes like, it becomes super hard, it's super aggressive, and then there's like a competitive version where like once you take off one of your layers of your world, it adds it to the other person's, and then it just becomes like, God damn it! You just start yelling at each other. It's like, fuck you with this shit.
Step off. Sure.
And it just gets it gets into, like, we used to have me and my cousins used to play it all the time. We used to have screaming matches over this. It's like, brothers, shut up! It's like, fuck you! Yeah, and I remember we could only play it at my cousin's house, and my aunt would always come in there and just be like, y'all need to calm down. It's like, I'm gonna turn that game off on you. Go outside and play. It's like, I'll be quiet. It's like, oh damn.
Man.
It's like, we upset the overlord.
That's how it was with me and my cousins playing like one of the first Super Mario parties.
Yeah. Bro, that's a game that'll make you hate people. Like, oh god. Even just like, what do you call it? Like, I've never had like a real intense Monopoly game, but I hear that ends relationships.
I've actually once played a 5-hour game of Monopoly.
Why so short? Because no, there was like a joke that I used to play like with my roommates in Vegas. That like, I was like, they're like, we should have a game night so we could all like get to know each other. I was like, we should play Monopoly. So I was like, they're like, what, you want to hate everybody? It's like, we're trying to bring people together. It's
like, oh, so we're playing Uno.
And I was just like, oh yeah, that is a pretty like, that drive us apart, I guess, from the start. Gotta learn to love each other before we can hate each other, I guess.
So you ready to move to music?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I have like 4 things on my page, but I'm gonna mention 2.
Alright.
So I didn't grow to like hip hop / rap till later in my adult life. Probably not till about like 2013, 2014, to where I was like, yeah, I can dig this, you know.
Of course.
Usually I'd listen to it and like, they're not saying something that I don't feel.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's like, I don't feel this. They're not speaking to me. But very recently, people that I currently like in the rap / hip hop realm that I didn't think I would like is one is Mick Miller.
Mac Miller?
Mac Miller. Mick Miller.
No, Mick Miller. I said it right. I was like, I said it right.
Mick Muffin.
Mick Muffin.
Hey,
oh God,
it's you, Mick Muffin. Still great scene. Super bad in case you guys didn't know.
Does he have a bunch of Mexican tattoos?
But you know, he passed away like late 2019, I believe.
Yeah.
And he came out with his new album early 2020.
Just like Tupac.
And I actually listened to the album probably like over 20 times. I really like his new album.
Yeah.
And I don't know, he spoke to me on a different level than his other music did previously.
That's fair.
I feel like, and it's not something I expected to like. And I don't feel like I like it because he's dead. You know, that's the weird thing to say. Why would I say that? but I like it.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I don't know. It's just something I didn't expect to like that I liked.
Yeah. And you're only mentioning 2?
Yeah. So
okay,
I got
cool.
one more after this.
So, one thing I didn't know like I would like was like powwow music, which is weird because I grew up with it and didn't really like it growing up either, which is I heard it a lot as a kid.
Yeah.
Like my dad was an artist. We went to a lot of native art events, and there was always like powwow music there, and there was always around all the time. And I was just like, it's kind of why I don't like traveling either, is because I did that a lot as a kid. Like my dad, we were like constantly going to art shows every week, and it was just like, all right, cool, or new places all the time. So I don't really like traveling. I don't really like being in a car. But at the same time, I didn't really like powwow music because it just sounded like, well, it was good. It just didn't appeal to me. It was weird because I heard it all the time. And now that I've re-listened to it, like probably like over 2 decades now, I guess. Like now that I've re-listened to it, I'm like, oh shit, oh yeah, I used to listen to this a lot. Like, I used to hear this all the time.
It's got some feel to it.
Yeah. And now that I can like comprehend some shit, and I'm like, oh damn, this is good stuff.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I liked it.
So my second thing is Post Malone.
Since when?
Since like 2016, actually.
Alright.
It all started when I was hanging out with them Chick-fil-A boys, Eli and Zarok. You know, those aren't their actual names in case you guys were curious. But they were people I used to work with over at Chick-fil-A, and we started hanging out after we got off work and whatnot. Just go back to my place, drink, and watch a lot of music videos. And then all of a sudden, somebody's playing "Congratulations" by Post Malone, and then like something else by Post Malone, and then I'm just like, okay, Post Malone's alright. And then I listened to the one song, "Feeling Whitney" by Post Malone. My gosh, does this guy have like some sad songs that just hit you where you don't want it to hit, that you knew?
It's like, if you bring that up.
It's like you're bringing a tear to my eye, my guy. I don't know. There's some songs by Post Malone that just like hit you somewhere, just in the heartstrings.
Yeah.
That, you know, like.
Yeah, much like Kid Cudi.
Yeah.
He's got some pretty sad songs.
Yeah, and I never thought Post Malone, like looking at Post Malone, watching him do some of his songs. Like, I've heard of some of the songs beforehand. Like, I didn't much care for it. And then all of a sudden, like, I'm hearing this song and I'm just like, that shit hits.
Yeah.
And it hurts.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah, much like Thrift Shop. Like, a lot of people, like, compare a lot of his, like, personality, like, not his personality, but, like, just him as an essence. Like, that's where he's at. That's who he is. And now, like, obviously he's not that anymore, but, like, still, that's probably what he connected most with people, which is really weird.
Yeah, and I don't know, I just didn't expect to like Post Malone at all. But I do. I actually like him a lot.
Gross. Alright, that's good. No, I'm just messing around.
Yeah.
The other thing I didn't think I was going to like was a lot of the pop songs that were turned into metal songs or rock and roll songs. Those things are great. Like, I didn't think I would like them, but, like, those things are really good. Like, I love the sound of guitars and drums and vocals. Like, but the way it hits for, like, through metal, like, for me, that's got feeling. And then, like, yeah, like, obviously for some people it's the original and, like, maybe even, like, the remixes or, like, some other stuff. But, like, for me, it's metal, like, it's rock and roll.
Personally, I usually like both versions.
See, for me, I can't, like, there's some original, like, the original version of the music I just don't like.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird. But you put, like, a good guitar beat behind it, some screamo, you got it. It's good.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, no, I always like both versions. That's all I have to add to that.
It's like it's a hit song for a reason. It's kidding.
I mean, there's a whole layer
There
of
is.
music theory to that, but yes, what you just said,
Yeah.
it's a good. People like this song for a reason. It's got the right notes, which is quite technical. Anyways, so we're getting to the end of the night. We're almost done here.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. Dink it. It's kidding.
Oh no, we're gonna do the dink it thing.
Yeah, Mike's around here somewhere. Who knows where he went to?
But yeah, what was your favorite drink of the night?
Wasn't the apple?
What was that thing people used to say? Like, hold your tongue and say apple?
Ow.
Apple.
It's like you're saying asshole, but
Yeah. Yeah.
Ow.
So what's going on?
Like, what'd you say? No, let's see. The Cardew, the last one, the whiskey.
The Cardew?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah,
Forgot about those, huh? So, yeah, there's a whole part of the night where it's like, ah, shit.
That first
those
night-
happened.
that first IPA was when we got to the meadery, I think my favorite mead. No, I was really feeling the apple. I'm really sad. I spilled half of my apple mead. But you're right. The whiskey was one of the whiskeys. I think the first whiskey was I liked better than the second.
Yeah, both were really smooth.
What was the first whiskey we had?
Dalmore. 12 year.
12 year.
The other one was Cardew 12 year.
So the Dalmore. Yeah, Dalmore was my favorite drink of the night.
Yeah. Like, I'm kind of curious of what the better, like, supposedly better versions of it is. Like the 15 year, it's... Well, the ones that are on the Scotch list is a 15 year, a cigar box, and...
The King
Alexander.
edition? Something?
King Alexander, or some shit like that.
Yeah. Sounds all kinds of fancy.
Yeah. The Cardew was just Cardew. I've never seen anything other than that. But yeah, that's been the night, I guess. Damn. Been going for a while.
Yeah. It seems like a while.
Yeah.
You know how long it's been actually?
42 minutes.
I think it's well since we started on the Zoom, about 50 minutes.
Oh. I said 42 because that's the answer to life.
Yeah. What was that?
Hitchhiker's Guide to the
Hitchhiker's
Galaxy.
Guide says, don't forget the towel. Don't forget to bring the towel.
That's South Park.
No, it's.
Don't forget your towel.
I mean, that's there too, but like, that's also a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, like, always bring a towel.
And always remember, bring a towel.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's where they actually, like, South Park, they got that from that, but, like, shit's hilarious.
One scene I always remember from fucking South Park. I don't remember what episode it was. I just remember watching this at some point in my life because I don't watch a lot of South Park. But it was just like, I got it. It's like, oh, you got the passcode? No, I got the tune to Funky Town. It's like, what the fuck, Dolly?
Oh, God. I like it when they, like, no. So, like, have you seen, like, the lure behind Towley?
I haven't.
Oh, God. So, apparently, he's super high all the time for a fucking reason. Because he's a goddamn supercomputer controlled by the NSA. And the way that they, what do you call it? That they not deprogrammed him, but, like, the way they made him ineffective was, like, give him this stupid bug where, like, he is now programmed to be high all the time. But at the same time, he still shows up to, like, help out and do, like, random shit. But, like, That was supposed to be like his original function, and then it was like, oh yeah, you can be too dry, and like his towel. It's like people began chafing.
Oh my god.
It's like, what the fuck? That was such a great thing. It was like it would bring about the apocalypse. People chafing, being too dry. Super towel. Oh god, just the stories they come up with, they're great.
Oh man. But yeah, this has been After Hours, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. We're just getting back into it.
Hopefully we get some guests on pretty soon, and we're allowed to be around each other in small groups again. Oh my god, it's
exciting stuff,
yeah.
man.
It's difficult. Hopefully it all goes back to normal soon.
We can only hope.
Yeah.
Stay safe out there. Wear your mask in public still. Yeah.
Stop licking doorknobs.
Yeah, if you lick doorknobs, don't do that. Never.
So I feel like we the type of audience that would lick doorknobs. Don't do that. Just messing around.
Have a good night, morning, afternoon, whenever you're listening to this podcast. If you listen to this podcast. If you got to this end, listening to this ending thing, most obviously you listen to this podcast.
Yeah, hopefully we come up with an intro too.
No.
Nah. Yeah, the original works.
The original works. If it broke...
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
If it broke, fix it. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
There's some truth in somewhere there.
I was about to say something right, but then I didn't.
Oh, good.
Bye.
Good luck.